there's a lot of points scored between those two teams. Last year, I think it was, what, 53-49?
Yeah.
So that kind of the tale of two games, but it was physical all the way through the ball game. There's no doubt about that. Had a couple different stretches, I thought, where they made a bunch of threes. That's not typical necessarily San Diego State, or at least what our scouting report was in the first half. I thought it was a combination of them cleaning up a few second shots and hitting some threes. That was the tail of the tape. And then I think a little of the isolation basketball late, where they put their heads down and got to the free throw line and put some heat on us that way, and again had some guys hitting threes. So real competitive. That's a good team. And the two things that we talked about was limiting our turnovers, and for us to have 9 turnovers against that team, I thought was a real positive. And then we didn't get hurt too badly on the offensive glass. I mean, we were even with them rebounding, and certainly we would take that. So those were the two things that I thought were a difference in the ball game.
You kind of weathered, I think you had 4 minutes, 19 seconds in the first half, 5 minutes second half. You had a couple scoring droughts, but you were able to weather those.
Well, that's what I talked to the team about after the game. That's important for us to start identifying. We were up 9, and then we were down 2 all of a sudden. So those kind of swings, we need to figure out a way to extinguish, put an end to them, and we'll take a look at what we need to do to improve that. But that's a big key in basketball, I think, is when you have a little lead, you need to put your foot on the pedal and keep it going. And there were a number of those, I think 3 or 4 major swings throughout the course of the game that we need to certainly improve.
How do you feel about all your starters in double digits? Obviously, maybe not so much bench help, but sort of an even scoring load between them.
Well, that's I'm really pleased with that. I've always been a fan of getting a team that has 4, 5, 6 guys flirting with double figures. If we could make a habit of that, I think it would be terrific. You don't necessarily, I think from an offensive point of view, it's great to have some different weapons, and it's really hard to have somebody at the top of that scouting report that's always the head of the snake that you got to shut down. And I think we do have some pretty good offensive firepower, really. Jakob in the post, and Kuzma does a nice job down there, and have some shooters around the floor and some different guys that can hurt you. So we need to get better, clean up some of our execution and timing, which is going to come. But our identity and how much success we have on the season is going to have a lot to do with how we defend, and we've got to make some pretty marked improvements with our defensive effort. But I'd love to be able to have multiple guys in double figures on a nightly basis. I think that would be great.
It's only the second game, but you only had 7 bench points tonight. It wasn't until Burkott kind of went off at the end of the game. Is that concerning at this point?
No, I think different guys are going to have opportunities. We're going into a situation in Puerto Rico where we'll play 3 games in 4 nights. Actually, counting this game, it's an NBA schedule. We'll play 4 games in 6 nights if you count Monday, and then our last one is Sunday. So theoretically, is that a week or 6 nights? But it's quite a trip in between, some frequent flyer miles along the way, and we're going to need everybody. Our guys know that there's some weapons that didn't get much of an opportunity to play, and we're going to get Chris back, getting his rhythm, I think, off an injury, and Kenneth is going to start participating in some stuff. So today was the first day that we had 16 guys that were cleared for practice, and it was a shoot around. But we need to go to Puerto Rico, and we'll be counting on a bunch of guys for some firepower. The most important thing is that nobody lose their confidence. And I'm looking at our team in the locker room. Everybody's in it together, and there weren't any down faces or anything like that. They know they're going to have the time to shine.